Hey guys, this is Wendell Catlett, man. This is Leverage Your Life. Hello again. Welcome back, guys. This is Leverage Your Life podcast based off of people that use their life to level up in life. So they're leveraging their life to level up in life. Again, we got my guy here again, Danny. He was here a couple weeks ago. He said he did so well, he wanted to come do it again.
Exactly.
So Danny the Juice Man, Danny Myers. Danny, just introduce yourself so everybody can know who you are.
My name is Dan Myers. Everybody call me Juice Man. I'm creator of ASAP Sobel Wellness Company, which we sell juices. We host wellness workshops. We connect with a lot of the trainers and people in the fitness industry around the DC area. Also have a podcast that I'm launching this year called For Those Who Have Ears. You might know me from my podcast with my partner in crime, Patrice Myers, Divine Purpose Podcast, where it's like comedy, couples, and we just cut up and do what we do. I love comedy, so I try to keep things light, but today the focus is on ASAP Sobel and the podcast For Those Who Have Ears, man. I appreciate you bringing me on the platform, man.
Absolutely.
Sound a lot better this time,
Hey,
don't
man,
it?
you sound clear this time, man. So the way I met Danny, we're gonna give you background history again, and I'm gonna go into the background about Danny. The way I met Danny, I was a firefighter in DC. I did almost 15 years there in DC. So I started in 2006, and I met Danny like a little bit of time after that, maybe 2007, 2008.
Yeah, somewhere around that time.
Sometime I met him right after that. I was at a firehouse with his father. His father's name is Wendell, just like mine.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I got somebody to tell you about this last time. So my whole entire life, I hated when people call me Wendell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my name, because my name is Wendell. That's what everybody called me. That's my family called me. Well, my mom called me that, Wendell. But everybody that don't know me, they call me Wendell. And I always got to correct them because my mother told me, she said, you need to make sure that you correct them people because your name is Wendell. So then I met your father.
Uh-huh.
I was like, man, what's your name, man? What you go by? He said, well, my name is Wendell. He said they want to call me Wendell. I'm cool with that, man. He said, don't call me.
Call my father Wendell.
Exactly.
Everybody call him Wendell.
Exactly. That's what he told me. He said they want to call me Wendell. I'm cool. I just roll with it. And that kind of changed my whole perspective on my own name, my own personal name. Just by him telling me that made me change my whole perspective. I said, it ain't even that serious, man.
I don't care if you with him, you're going to drop some type of gems. He's going to make you laugh and he's going to drop some gems all the time.
Absolutely, man. So, yes, I met his father and I was at the same firehouse. But I actually met Danny. You know, I don't know if you remember, I met you in the ambulance. You was on the I got a sign, so I knew who you were, but they sent me on the ambulance. He was like, was you at 18 at the time?
18 back
Yeah,
then.
exactly. So they sent me, I was working overtime somewhere, and they sent me to 18, and you was assigned on the ambulance, and then, you know, like you was like real shocked back then, and like, but you was like, man, I got this. Exactly. Yeah. You was a veteran back then, man. So anyway, I don't want to get too much deep into how I met him, but that's how I met him. But one of the things I want to talk about is how Danny inspired me, man. Danny, he did something that was unheard of years ago. Yeah. He left the comfort zone of the DC Fire Department, and that was unheard of, man. So, you know, like I said, I think I did 13 years instead of 15. I did 13 years at that job, and I left. But before I left, I had it already set in my mind. After I seen him leave, he left, and it was on the fire ground. On the fire ground, Danny said, "Hey, Cat, man, I think I'm about to leave, man." I said,
I don't want to do this no more.
He said, "I don't want to do this no more." I said, "No, but I don't know we were on the fire ground. We was just on the call. We was on the call together." He said, "I don't want to do this no more." I said, "There's no way. There's no way that he gonna leave this job." He's like, "Man, I don't want to do this no more." And he said, "When I get back, I'm putting my papers in. I'm done." Yeah. So to me, if somebody can leave this job, and this comfort zone and this paycheck every 2 weeks and the benefits that everybody say and the schedule that everybody talks about, it got to mean that it's something that he believes in. He believes in himself. He got to believe in something that's bigger than what this small.
Bigger than myself.
Exactly. It's bigger than myself, and then bigger than what everybody talk about, you know, and the job was like a small fishbowl. So that conversation right there kind of inspired me. I can get more into it, but Dan, let's talk about what you was going through during that time.
So during that time, I was I was going through a lot mentally during that time.
Right.
And the job was kind of like in my way.
Right.
Meaning the pay is good.
Right.
But I'm trying to build something that I know that God, the universe,
Right.
Allah, whatever you call, put
Yeah.
on my heart, right?
Right. The higher power.
Yeah, the higher power.
Right.
That's kind of what I say. You know,
Right.
so that covers kind of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that higher power, okay, so around that time, my mom had passed away. I was going through a separation with my wife at the time. And her actual father, my wife at the time, her father had stage 4 liver cancer.
Okay.
And they gave him like 6 months to live.
Right.
So, you know, while that's going on, we still dealing with stuff at the job. You know what I mean? You gotta see death all the time. You gotta see people that they're worse.
We actually, that call we talking about, the guy
Somebody jumped off the bridge.
Right, exactly. Right,
and,
right.
and at that time, I just was like, I don't want to see this shit no more.
Right,
I don't want to see it no more.
Right, right.
So I just got tired of seeing people that they worse. I got tired of, you know, what I was going through. But when he had cancer, I watched him heal himself. And he healed himself.
Wow.
He started dealing with natural medicines.
Right.
He started dealing with holistic doctors. And one of the things that he did, I remember specifically, was he couldn't eat because he had the cancer, so he couldn't hold nothing down. So we used to juice. All he could do was green juice. We used to make kale, cucumbers, celery, ginger, lemon, and green apples because it was high in alkaline.
Wow.
Couldn't hold nothing down, so that was the iron that he needed.
Right.
And that was the vitamin K, and it was a good source of iron.
Yeah.
And it helped. That's all he could eat.
Right, for sure.
So he moved to, after he was, you know, doing the juicing, he was able to start holding down foods a little bit better. Now, no chemo, because they pretty much did no chemo.
Right, right.
He got with Ruby Lathan. That's like a holistic nutritionist, and Dr. Watkins from the Eden Institute is the name of it. And he used to get his juices from the water hole up in Mount Rainier, right across the street from the Glut, and he would get all the vitamins and stuff from the Glut. So I'm like doing all this stuff with him. So you picking up stuff. Now at the time I'm 219 pounds.
Right, right.
219 pounds. I'm running around in the Glut, at the water hole.
I'm heavy, huh?
I'm eating heavy. I'm eating fried chicken for bringing him juices.
Right, right, right.
So my mom, while he's healing himself now, I'm watching the cancer actually die from just putting these natural foods and medicines in his body.
Wow.
I'm watching cancer die at the same time my mother passed away.
Right.
She died suddenly of an aneurysm. Literally carried her downstairs.
Wow.
And my daughter was there. It was on my brother's birthday. We was about to have a dinner. And she just said,
it was about November or something like that?
November 4th.
Right. I remember your dad was retired in December.
My father decided the next month.
I remember that.
Next month. So they had their whole life. That's what happened. They had their whole life planned out. My mom had a nonprofit. She always was a community person. So my house was the house where everybody in the neighborhood came to. So when she died, everybody, you know, my house was their house, so everybody was there. But when we had the repast, I'm looking at all the foods that we all eat.
Right.
The macaroni and cheese, good though.
Right.
Fried chicken, ribs, and everything. So that day, I just went for a long jog because I run to clear my mind. So I left my house on 13th Street, ran up to Kennedy Street, down Carter Barron, came all the way around Rock Creek Park, ran through the whole park, and came back up to the house. And after the run, you don't really want that stuff.
Right, right.
So after that day, I just cold turkey said, man, I just want to fast. I fasted for 10 days. I did nothing but juices for 10 days. In that 10 days, I lost, I think, like 15 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm looking at the food. I'm looking at the food that we're eating from the repast. The fried chicken, the macaroni and cheese, all the stuff. Even the greens got turkey neck in it or fat back pork shit. You know what I mean? So what I did was I just cold turkey just went and said I'm just gonna I gotta make a change.
Right.
And as I was doing that, and as the weight was coming off, I got this vision. I was becoming whole. So the first company,
I love that.
Company, it was like I was trying to make myself whole. So so that time, so even though we're going through the stuff with the marriage situation being kind of getting kind of hard, it kind of like, we wasn't married at the time actually.
Right.
That kind of made us kind of closer, and then I'm gonna try to bet on myself.
I remember you said that, man.
But I bet on myself without having a business plan. I bet on myself without having no business process model.
Right.
I bet on myself with nothing. I just had the will and the vision and the intention to go forth. And when I left the fire department, she left.
Right.
Who I was with at the time.
Right. Okay. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that too.
So she left, and I don't blame her. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Like, it's not responsible.
Right. People live your life for seasons, man. That's all it is.
Facts.
Right.
But had I never met her, I never would have went through that situation with her father to even understand that.
Right.
And put me in that. So everybody's in your life, like you said.
Exactly.
Reasons and seasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then that happened, man. But then after that, now, you know, my daughters were in track.
Right.
So they drinking the juices. So now all the kids around them is drinking the juices. And this juice man Dan, and I'm going to the schools and the rec centers and all that stuff, teaching the importance of health. I got my holistic nutrition certification. And I took it serious because I left the job. So I said, okay, if I'm gonna leave the job, my full-time job is gonna be my business.
Absolutely.
I gotta get up early. If I can get up we talked about this.
Absolutely.
If I can get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the firehouse and be there between 5:30 and 6, then what does it look like if I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go for my morning jog, make the juices in the morning, deliver them? I treat it every day like it was a full-time job. Yeah. And that's what happened. Yeah.
So on the flip side of that, man, I did the exact same thing. We talked about this last time. I did the exact same thing, man. I already made that leap. When I seen you leap, I made that leap.
In your mind.
In my mind. I made it in my mind as opposed to just jumping out there. I knew that. I'm like, you know what? I know that any false move can mess up everything for me, right? And it's cool, man. I always, like I told you last time, I always want people to believe in themselves, bet on themselves. But I want the people to, before they bet on themselves, to do the research. Yeah. Set their processes up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. So like I said, I remember I had 10 years on the job. And I had 10 years on the job. I had a conversation with the chief on the job, and he had 30 years on. And what he told me was, I said, Chief, how much you make a year? And I ain't gonna disclose the number. He gave me a number, right? Right. And I'm like, damn, I just made more than that this year in real estate, right? I said,
he's the chief.
He's the chief.
So it's like that's your window.
And he got 20 years on. I said, I gotta wait another 20 years to get to where he is. You know what I'm saying? To make that amount.
If you want to be a chief.
If I want to be a chief, right? Exactly. So then when you left, and he already programmed me in my mind that I need to, now I need to figure something else out. Then I see people that's another thing that happened. I see people on the job that was dying. Yeah.
Right after retirement.
Right after retirement. Or I seen people that's having mental issues and we just seen suicides on our job. And then you left, and I'm like, man, I can really do this. So what I did was I went back, I broke down what are all the great things that they saying about this job or any job. So obviously the financial part wasn't that important to me anymore because I had the finance. Then I looked at the beneficial part. It's like, well, you got the great benefits. And I looked at the benefits. A lot of people, that's why it's important for you guys to hear this. A lot of people do not understand what their benefits are on their jobs. They just take them. They just see it coming out their check. Not even saying they don't understand what it is. They don't understand what it is compared to some other policies that's out here. Yeah. They just see it come out their check, life insurance, retirement plans, 401k plans, pensions and all that. But they don't do no comparison to nothing else that's on the market.
And there's nothing wrong with that because the job is safe, right? So
absolutely,
I don't recommend entrepreneur for everybody. Everybody got it in them, but if you don't got it in you, you absolutely know that you don't, right? Yeah. So the job is safe when it's going to give you this package. All right, cool. You stay here for 30 years. After 30 years of all your hard sweat and tears, we're going to give you this amount of money for the rest of your life. Now, at the time we take it, we're not thinking about inflation. Right, absolutely. We're not thinking about, we just thinking like, damn, this is going to take care of me for the rest of my life.
100%.
Quote unquote. Yeah. I mean, bare minimum, because it's a percentage of what you make.
For sure.
So what I did was, and I know I got to say this before I say this.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
My point is, it's not really having, I want people to take a leap if they feel like they want to take a leap and believe in themselves. My point is that people don't understand what they have.
The process.
not even just leaving the job. I'm just saying just the benefits at their job. You understand what I'm saying?
Research it.
Research it.
And see what else is out there.
That's out there, exactly.
You was able to compare.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's one thing I respect about you, because when I left the job, I wasn't even financially where I wanted to be.
Right.
But you was talking to me like, I'm giving you the advice as if I'm like, yo, man, I'm struggling out here. I'm on a hamster wheel. Right. That's why I end up coming back so I can set up the process the right way.
Right, absolutely.
But when I made that leap, we was talking often, and you was able to be like, all right, cool. So when I was hearing what you was telling me you was doing with your plan, I actually was like encouraging it, like,
I remember that. Yeah, you kind of pushed me.
Man, you way ahead of where I was, bro. If you worried now, you should see what I jumped off the fucking bridge.
Exactly. So I did, man. So that's what I'm saying. So I put together a plan. I think that's important for everybody else to put together a plan. They want to leave, but I even think that they should still understand what they got and what else is out there, regardless, man. Even if maybe if you love whatever your job is, that's great, but you still need to understand what your worth is. That's how I look at it.
And that's kind of what I say about the fire department. It's a noble job, so I don't ever want to get on no platform and be like, it was just what I was going through. And mentally, like in the fire service, a lot of things you eat is not healthy. That's why I really respect like what Tate is doing. With food on the stove. And I actually want to reach out to him. Matter of fact, I'm saying that because he actually, what I'm building can actually benefit. We can actually mutually benefit from each other. So I want to reach out to him, as a matter of fact. And we're good friends too. We talk often as well.
Sure.
But food on the stove, stuff like that is needed. Our mental, man. Yeah. And that you see so much stuff in that on the job. So it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just where I was at.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's a great job. It took care of my family, my father. I'm a second generation firefighter. Love the job. But it's just a certain level of control and certain level of way I want to live my life that sometimes it conflicts with having a full time.
I'm never telling nobody to leave their job, man. But it's certain people that just want certain things, and I agree with that, man. So right now, currently, you say you just showed me the new juice that you got.
I got
Yeah. So what are you doing currently? What are you doing?
So currently, man, I'm actually in a really good space currently. So we rebranded it. It's no longer I Am Whole. Now the name is ASAP Sobel. ASAP Sobel is kind of a so I Am Whole. I feel like I became whole through that process.
Right.
ASAP Sobel is a short of the word as above, so below. So right now, we just got this big industrial juicer that allows us to actually produce a lot more. We have a kitchen space now. We're about to be working with the city. We're working with DC Central Kitchen right now. And now I'm just focusing on the production. Now I could be the technician, and the brand is going to push itself. I can see myself in the stores right next to a Coca-Cola. You can have all your options, but just put healthy options. So now I'm looking for different stores, and I got trainers that are going to be selling them, and we're building out this community, man. And one juice at a time. Every time you drink some, man, you know you're getting good. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from a good place. That's where we at now, man.
Yeah. So me looking at it, and I think that's perfect, man. And I like when you said I am whole. I am whole is important, man. I love the whole concept of it, the holistic approach, man. But so me being in therapy, I got a therapist, man. So my therapist, I love her, man. She teaches me a lot. So my therapist teach me how to live holistically. Right. So we talking about obviously internal health, relationship health, all different types of health, mental health and all that type of thing. But a lot of people, we talk about financial, and that's what I'm all about. Finance. That's not what I'm all about. I'm sorry. That's what my business is.
Yeah, that's
my talent. That's my talent. So because we talking about being whole, what financially would you do? First of all, what would you do financially? Because I heard a few things that you said. What would you do financially to set yourself up in the future to make sure that if and when you leave your job, or if you know somebody else that is going to leave their job, how would you set yourself up then? And then also, I think about when you mentioned the health of your family members, man. So I got some things I want to tell you about, but let's answer the first question. What would you do to set yourself up for?
To set myself up, meaning like
I'm just saying. So, all right.
You mean like the process if I wanted to go again?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, we kind of talked about this, me and you.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I respect that you said you did is you gave yourself a time.
Right.
And first thing you said in the last couple minutes ago, what you said was, I'm looking at what I'm making.
Right.
So versus leaving
right.
without nothing, okay, first can you match that?
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
a goal. You gotta set goals. So I'm actually not what I would do, what I'm doing now.
Absolutely.
So I have financial goals. I got quarterly goals, I got monthly goals,
Absolutely.
I got weekly goals that I gotta set. Gave myself a time frame. Time frame I gave myself is it's doable. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So you gotta work within reason.
Absolutely.
So I got monthly financial goals.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make this amount. I have to save this amount. I have to have this amount here.
Mm-hmm.
Credit is important.
Absolutely.
Credit is very important, and I think
one of the most important things.
It is the most important thing. Like honestly, when you're in business, and this is what I did not know the first time. Your credit is literally what speaks for you.
Absolutely, 100%.
Because it's really, it's kind of like indicative of your word. Kind
it is, exactly. I tell people all the time, it's like somebody that owe you $20, they keep ducking you, man. They're like, then somebody asks, man, should I give him $20? Like, nah, man, I don't trust him. He got his credit bad with me. You understand?
So that is the other thing. So I always, so now the focus is credit. The focus is on saving.
Right.
The focus is also on investing in my own self. So okay, when I make it, it got to go back into the company until I get to where it got to go. So like a lot of entrepreneurs will make you think this entrepreneur lifestyle is all about getting money. That's why I know you said I ain't all about getting money.
Yeah.
Or you could have all the money, your mental ain't right.
Absolutely.
Or you can have all the money and your health ain't right, and then you have a heart attack. So really, health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Self meaning not just knowledge of self, meaning black people, but knowledge of yourself.
Right, I got you.
Health, wealth, and knowledge of self.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what I took from I Am Whole being.
Right.
Now flipped it into ASAP Soul Bill. So
right.
It's kind of a journey, man. And that's, it's not what I would do, it's what I'm doing right now.
Absolutely.
As we speak.
So I like that, man. So I'm gonna tell you my flip on the financial aspect of that. Right. Mm-hmm. I think that I love the fact that you got goals for sure. Right. 100%. I think that the first thing you need to know, and I'm not sure you probably already did, but you need to understand your budget. Right. Understand your budget. Right. And that's how you're gonna repair your credit first. Correct. So understand your budget, meaning know what you're paying to the T. So usually what I've done, and I still do, I go back and do it every time. Now I got an accountant, but before I had an accountant, I still do it myself from time to time. I go through all of my bank statements, my last 2 bank statements, and I go through line for line and figure out what are my budget. So then I put together the things I need, the things that I kind of need, and the things that I can cut out, right? Right. So, or even if I can cut out, it's just like just things that I like to do, some of my lifestyle, right? Right. So I go through the things so I try to cut out everything that I can cut out, just cut out, right? Right. The things that I kind of need, maybe this is kind of more like my lifestyle thing. I try to limit that, right? And then the next thing I try to do, the things that I need, like I got like like phone bills, maybe not a car, no phone bills. The necessity bills that you have. Yeah. I think I told you before, I literally called all of them, said I need them to reduce my price, right? Reduce my price or I'm going to their competitor. And if they didn't reduce my price, I went to their competitor. Because you see commercials all the time talking about, yeah, we want new customers. And they literally do give you a better deal.
So who gave you that mindset? You just had that? Like, cause the reason I asked, I'm asking because you're good with finance. Right. You're financial guy. Absolutely. One of the problems with most black businesses is we don't understand the concept of finance. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody needs to gain that. So I just really, I just observe it. So I'm being blessed with that. Just what happened. Ain't nothing like I just came with somebody say you need to do this. I literally just been attracted me to it. I'm like, okay, fine. I always like money, but that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, I always like money. I always try to figure out ways to make more money. And then I started learning that it's not all about how much you make, it's how you eliminate that debt. So then, again, like I said, I understand my budget. I brought down my budget some, right? Because now, all right, let's say, for example, I was paying like $3,000 a month, I think at the time, right? That's how much I was spending. But all I really needed to spend was like $1,500. I'm just throwing out random numbers. I got you. So I brought it down to about $1,500 because I eliminated some of the bills, cut back some of my habits,
and I changed the prices on some of my habits. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm at $1,500. Now I understand my budget. This is what I got. This is what I need to pay is $1,500. And I probably just bring it home by like $3,400 at the time. You know what I mean? Like $1,700 per pay period. So
on the fire department.
On the fire department. Exactly. So
it's money, but it's like
exactly. So $3,400. So now I got about what's that? Let's just say another $1,700 to pay to play with, right? So now at this point, now what I've learned now, I'm gonna tell you now, but I didn't know at the time, is the next thing you gotta do is protect your money, right? Protect your money. So you understand what you got. Now you gotta protect what you got, right?
Correct.
So now you gotta, and that's when the insurance is coming, right? So the reason why I'm saying insurance is because you don't know what might happen to you in life. You don't know what's gonna happen to you in life. I ain't just talking about this death. So obviously you do need life insurance, right? Life insurance because you want to protect all your assets. You don't want to leave no
debt to your
kids and all that type of stuff. Don't leave them broke. So you want to protect that. You want to make sure that you got your health in order. Obviously, we talked about your marriage and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you have paperwork on your marriage. I don't care if the wife might don't like it, the husband might don't like it, but we need to protect ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? So everything. That's the next level, like have protection. So then the level after that, you want to start being aggressive, not super aggressive. That's the level after that. So you want to be aggressive. Now you got so you understand your budget, protect yourself. Then you start being aggressive. So now first is like a defensive. Now you offensive, right? So that's when you start saving. You hear me say save first, right? Yeah. You save now. That's what you say after you got your stuff together. Then you start saving. Then you start saving, but you save with a plan. So you save like personal savings, which would be like 3 to 6 months of 6 to 12 months of your annually income or whatever. I'm sorry, of let's say your $1,500 that you need to spend. So if I was paying $1,500 a month on my bills, that's what I would save 6 to 12 months. You understand what I'm saying? You save for buying a house, you save with a purpose, right? I can get into more and more, but I'm just saying, so you save with a purpose. Then the next level is how do you start purchasing assets and stuff like that, like retirement plans. Another thing you saving for you buying a retirement plan. How do you start purchasing assets? Then you start leveraging those assets and building portfolios, right?
That's what it is, bro, and that's pretty much where I'm going. Also, the other thing I do is I put myself now in circles with people going in the same direction.
Absolutely.
So like you can't be an entrepreneur and want to have this vision, but then you're around people that are not. So no knock to the fire department, but it's hard to talk about your any job. That's not even just the fire department.
Right.
Any job. Most people at a job ain't trying to hear you talk about your dreams and aspirations about leaving the job, and you can turn people off by you just this what you're about. Right, so I had the difference between this time and then also instead of just sharing my vision with everybody, because that hate can come in the form not even that they hate you, but it's just like, man, I don't want to hear that. Right. But if you're talking around
then it starts impacting you.
It does. It's like, damn, shit, you questioning yourself, you judge, you second guess. But when you're talking to other entrepreneurs and other creators and people that are doing the same thing, go to networking events and put yourself around those type of people that's in the same industry you're doing or going in the same direction, the conversations definitely change.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It becomes, hey, what are you doing? How can I help you? How can this benefit what I'm trying to do and vice versa?
Absolutely.
Versus, man, I'm just trying to get my check and go home. Yeah. It's just a different level of a conversation.
That's the story of my life, bro. I know exactly how
I remember that's why when you used to call me when you was thinking about leaving, you was like, man, I can't even talk to nobody. I never took the time to talk to nobody. And the reason I left the way I did is because I felt like if I talked to anybody, they would talk me out of it. Right. So I just was like, was it right? I don't know. The lessons that I learned during that time frame, even though I'm back now, the lessons that I learned was more valuable than the college education.
I agree, bro. I agree, man.
Because I learned levels of business that I've evaluated companies. I've been with real, like, millionaire people that can give me advice. You know what I mean? And sometimes the advice is better than the money. Sometimes you getting pointed in the right direction is more valuable.
Absolutely. Teach a man to fish. You give him a fish, he eat for a day. You teach him how to fish, he eat for a lifetime.
Yeah, all them principles.
Absolutely. If you're a student of the Bible, I feel like that you know it's not about religion.
Yeah.
If you understand what Jesus came to tell people, That it ain't about religion.
He actually was against religion.
He was against religion.
He made a religion in his name. So
absolutely, he was against
everybody
religion.
can't handle that.
Absolutely, they can't hear that. He literally said, he
was against.
He was, for example, he was. They hated that he was doing things on the Sabbath day. He like, it ain't about that.
It's not about that. Man. I'm here doing my father's work.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about ASAP Sobel.
Right.
Like I've gotten a lot of flack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to be a heavy drinker.
Right. I understand. I was drinking with you.
Yeah. So I don't drink as much as I used to.
Right.
So you gotta imagine how that circle has to change, and how everybody looking at you like, oh, you health now? No. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta go through that, but like I said, you put yourself in different environments, and you gotta get yourself away from the naysayers. Right. This year,
I agree.
Another part of that question that I'm doing this year, right now, I'm in total isolation.
That's me, man.
Like I'm mentally checked out with a lot of stuff. And I think that's because I feel like it's time for me to focus and level up.
Absolutely.
And you can't level up if you can't level up if you can't like go into a cocoon kind of wake up, clean up my house, go for a jog, come back, check my emails. Right. What type of orders need to be done? What do I got to do to facilitate this? Okay, do I got to work today? All right, cool. Set my schedule up so where I can work a little bit extra hours, put some more money into that, build that space and that cushion up. Got my daughters, still a family, man.
Absolutely.
My lady in North Carolina right now, so I'm back and forth between DC and North Carolina. So I ain't got nothing but time right now to focus and make sure everything is built out the right way. So we're like,
I love that focus, man. I really love that focus. That's exactly how I am. So this 2023, I'm in the exact same space, bro. Right now, I'm eliminating the distraction. That's the biggest thing for me. Is extreme. I'm gonna tell you my therapist. So I love, like I said, I love having my therapist. My therapist asked me what was last year? Last year, a few weeks ago, she said, what was last year? What was this year? What one word would you use for this year? What was the word of the year for this year? And that was 2022. And to me, I learned 2022 was all about attentiveness, right? Attentiveness, right? Okay. So I understood that every aspect of your life needs attention, and you need to be attentive to each aspect of your life. So you need to be focused on each aspect, because as soon as you focus on too much on one aspect, another aspect gonna fall off. You understand what I'm saying? That's right. So you need to be able to be attentive to every part of your life, and that's financial, that's relationships, that's health, that's mental, that is spiritually, all of that type of stuff. You need to be feeding at all times. So that's what I learned. I learned that, right? So this year, coming in this year, it's all about my number one. She asked me what the word was this year, but it wasn't. What I'm gonna say first, that's being consistent. I didn't tell her this. Consistent with being attentive is my whole goal, right? So
consistent with being attentive.
Exactly. So I'm just literally like focused on that at least for the first quarter. But the word that I gave her, based off of that, I said the word is gonna be evolution, because I understand by me being consistently attentive to all of my parts of my life, I'm not doing anything but evolve. You understand what I'm saying? Like if I really focus on my diet, you can't
do nothing but get better.
That's all you can do. So that's all you can do.
Yeah, so we kind of like in the same space. That's where I'm at. This year I'm just really focused, man, and it's like I'm like, this is kind of, so my word, I guess, for this year for myself personally is not attentive. My word for this year is sacrifice.
Sacrifice. I love that.
I'm taking a year. This whole year is going to be sacrifice. Sacrifice to what I really want to do.
Right. So that's what I told you. I had that meeting with my friends and my co-workers and everybody. Like, listen, I'm locked in. At least for this first quarter. I said, no, invite me out. That type of stuff. So one thing, I'm just going more about that. I'm going to wrap it up in a second, too. I know we're going over time. But one thing I would tell you about like your friends and your co-workers and everybody got to play a role in your life. So you want to make sure that you still touch all of these people, right? I know they say change your circle. I said this on another podcast before. You are who you surround yourself, so you need to change your circle. But I feel like, I'm not saying like change the people around you, right? You keep that circle, but then you move to this circle, then you move to that circle, then you move to that circle, you come back to these circles, because each one of these circles have different things that feed you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might be, maybe they're not the right people to talk about entrepreneurship, but they're the right people to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Maybe they excellent cooks. You might not want to be around these.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
That's why.
Exactly.
That's why the fire department was beautiful for me.
Absolutely.
Because all right, I grew up uptown.
Right.
I grew up in the house where all the people from the neighborhood used to chill with, because this is my mom used to open her doors to everybody.
Right.
So, but I also went to Gonzaga, so I was able to see that world as well.
Yeah.
What the fire department did was it gave me a different viewpoint than what most of us see growing up. Most of us only see our neighborhoods. Most of us only know what our family does, and a lot of times we'll just take jobs. But it was a career, so you got older white people, black people. I got advice from older white people. I got advice from older black people. I got advice from Spanish people. I work with all different types of people, and you're seeing the other side of how things move.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, I might not talk to somebody about how to build out a business, or what do I got to do to get this business process model together, or da. But I can talk to them about maybe rearing your family, like how you do this, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I'm having problems at home with my lady. Like, hey yo, you got a man that's sitting there next to you that's been married for 50 years, and he can give you some advice that you can't get, you know what I mean? Or you got this white guy from Pennsylvania that can be talking about, you know what? It's cheaper to have land there versus most people we talk to just talk about spending money, and then you're around people that's frugal.
Exactly.
Fire department told me that being frugal.
I know. That is true.
Is a lot more important than splurging and spending on what you know, man. Because I be seeing them jokers, they be showing their little deferred, not little, it be big deferred comp, 457B plans. Been putting that joint in for 20 years, and you know I haven't touched it. And they'll wear some bent up shoes, but they'll have $300,000 on a deferred compensation plan. You know what I mean?
But deferred comp, that's cool, man. I got other things. So
I know you got other things.
I'm speaking on that. One last thing I'm gonna talk about, then I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Just thinking about you talking about your family health, man. No, first of all, deferred comp is a good thing, but it's not. It's better. Things that I recommend, I don't say, because everybody got their own preference, right? So things that I recommend is outside of deferred comp. One thing is life insurance, and I like the IRAs better than I do a deferred comp, right?
So that's one of the things that the job packages that
I see that.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's what you're saying, research and stuff. Like, okay, take a deferred comp. You don't know about Roth IRAs and all that type of stuff.
Exactly. So then, when I was speaking about the health thing, I know you said that's why it's important again. That's why it's important to get the life insurance. People think of life insurance as a just a death benefit thing. And I'm thinking about your what was it, the grandfather, the ex father. Yeah. So he had the cancer that came up. So life insurance have living benefits, and one of the most popular living benefits is cash value. A lot of people like some of the life insurance have cash value, like a whole life or IUL. Those have cash values in it. But also a whole life in the IUL, you can do infinite banking. So people like that, the quick cash that you can get right now. But then also you're thinking about the guy who got the cancer. They have living benefits like long-term care. They have long-term care, terminal illness care, chronic illness care, and these are things that's in life insurance. So these are living benefits. So that's why I think it's important for people to get life insurance as young as they can, because the price is cheaper. Price is gonna stay there forever. Don't wait till you get older to do that. But then also, you told me before about your mother, but going forward with people that don't have the life insurance and they parents, I think that everybody should have life insurance. Their parents, they self, their kids, and all that type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So
when I'm a beneficiary.
Right. Exactly. You told me. Yeah.
That was one of the other reasons that I was able to leave, because when my mom passed, she left us all a little bit of money. It wasn't substantial, but it was enough. It was five kids and my father, so we all kind of split it. But it was enough. At the time I was $40,000 in debt.
Yeah.
I was able to purchase my first home.
I remember that, yeah.
And I still, up until last year, just sold my home and doubled what I got from the life insurance policy.
Yeah.
And I'm able to now kind of just, it's like I was a living benefit of my mom doing that. And she got that policy like 6 months before she passed.
Right.
So I was able to see that. Now I wouldn't have been able to get a house sitting there with $40,000 debt with no way out of it.
Exactly.
But she covered it.
A lot of people, they know that when they die, they're gonna create millionaires or create wealthy kids because of life insurance. Us, we used to, when we die, all of our wealth died with us, right? But if you get these insurances, that's what banks got their money in. Everybody got their money in insurance. That's why I said that's the first thing. Understand what your money is, and then protect your money. You understand what I'm saying? That's what insurance is for. So you protect your money, and then you start saving and stuff like that. Because you can't save enough that you can pass down to your kids.
No,
you can't. So I like, me known as a real estate guy. I want to sell you a property. I want to do that, but I understand the truth is that, let's say I purchased $1 million policy. That's $1 million. I bought my first house 10 years ago, right? I bought it for $170. Now it's now I owe like $90,000 on it, right? Bought it for $170, owe like $90,000. It's only worth $350. So you told me I got an equity deposit with $250. If I'd have died within them 10 years, my daughter had $1 million. You understand? You understand the difference from a property and insurance?
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm paying at my first mortgage.
She could buy 2 of them.
She could buy three of them. Exactly.
Yeah.
My mortgage was $1,300 a month, right? That's what it was, my first property. I paid that every month for let's just say 12 months, every month. So I paid that for 10 years now, right? I got people in there obviously now, so it's paying for it. But for 10 years I've been paying that every month. If you get a life insurance part of $1 million, I could have got that. Even if you get a term for like $150. So you look at the math.
Yeah.
People say they want to pass on something to their kids.
Yeah.
But you passing on
debt.
You passing on debt. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah, man. So this is Leverage Your Life. I got my guy Dan. Dan, tell them where you can find yourself.
www.asapsobel.com. That's spelled ASABSOBEL. You can find me on Instagram, ASapSoBel. My name is Dan. They call me the Juice Man. If you want to support the brand, I would love to have it. Look out for, and when the weather breaks in the spring and the summer, we'll be doing wellness events, probably at the Arc over in Southeast, a couple different rec centers. I'm working with the city right now with Parks and Recreation trying to plan this out. So look forward to seeing you guys, and hopefully you can support the brand and you'll see us. And thank you for helping me level up.
Thank you, man. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
That's it, guys. Leverage Your Life podcast with Danny Myers. Please support my guy. He gave you all the contact information. And I'll see you next time.